Todd Grisham. Alongside me, Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody around the world, the fighters. This is just one of those things.
It's time for our tale of the tape. And of course, here he is, Alexander Usyk. He's 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. And he'll be facing the great Rocky Marciano. He's only 5 foot 10 inches tall with a reach of 68 inches.
An amazing reach advantage that fighters do not expect to see in this kind of fighter. The jab is unassumingly long and sharp and fast, and that will really put you off your stride.
Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion of the world, fighting out of Ukraine. Rocky Marciano.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, here is the Olympic gold medalist.
They'll be fighting under the lights tonight. What a unique environment as we get set for this high-energy showdown. Marciano with one of the best right hands in boxing history. If he catches you flush, it's good night. Got him with a left hook. Right hand, right on point. Have you ever danced with the devil under the pale moonlight? That's what these two men are about to go through as they've been talking so much trash on social media. It's time to settle the score.
How picturesque is this, Todd? How perfect is this? Perfect for us, not for the fighters because they're the ones getting hit, but for us, how picturesque is this? This is what it's all about. This is the beauty of our sport.
They are not going to let this one go to the judges. Got to let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
Reaction is second to none. It's the blink of an eye, and they're waiting for any little twitch you do. So you've got to fight a counter puncher smart.
This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Off the charts action from both of these fighters. Only catching air with that hook. This fighter is a swarmer. They're like a mosquito that just won't leave you alone, except this mosquito can knock you out with one punch.
Swarmers, you can go back in boxing history. When you've seen them, when you've seen the best swarmers going, you understand how hard it is. It looks exciting from the outside in. Can you imagine being right in there?
By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as...
And there's the bell to start round two. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Got out of the way of that right hook. This is a high-octane well-maintained battle. Not sure why he's not using his reach advantage.
This is poetry in motion. If you've got a great jab, if you've got a long reach, I know, that was me. I'm admiring what I'm seeing here.
Swing and a miss with the right hook. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Both men step back for just a moment. Can they figure out the combination to this save?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Got out of the way of that right hook. Good counter punch. That punch lands. Nice counter shot. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
Fantastic punch. They better start respecting each other's punching power. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt who won that round.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up.
On to the third. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. You'd like to see more jabs. Punch, counter punch. Well, Johnny, we're a couple rounds in. What are you seeing so far?
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Misses with the straight left. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Well, Johnny, we're in the early stages here. What have you seen so far?
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics sometimes so as to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
You'd like to see more jabs. Both men step back for just a moment. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. Talk about a one-sided 3 minutes. There's the bell for round 4. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tear. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
The right hook just missed. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked? So close with that uppercut. Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them. More than happy.
When you've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses, how do you deal with it?
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Throws the uppercut, but misses. That hook is parried away. Do you believe what we're seeing? And he wasn't ready for that counterpunch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
You were thinking he was...
Box him back together and go out there and put it back on him this round.
Don't forget the jab and don't get carried away.
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
You hear people People talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Missing with the left uppercut. Good job stopping that uppercut. So far, it seems like aggression has been the key. This fighter just not slowing down.
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him. Frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he'll close you down.
These two are the perfect dance partners.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. And he scores with the counter. Nice exchange here from both men. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Big hook. Good thing it didn't land. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round.
Breathe.
There's the bell for round 6. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Through the left uppercut, but it misses. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Catch and shoot. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided, did you see that? Usyk might go down here. What an upset. And it appears they weathered the storm. How? I'm not sure.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. That uppercut misses. walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. He blocks the right uppercut. These two were made for each other. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round.
Come on.
What would you tell this guy? He's got to do something different.
Now it's a tough fight.
Here comes round 7. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
This fighter's... I don't care who you are. When you get caught with a body shot like that, you're going down.
I've got to see that again.
Are you okay?
Well, they're back on their feet right now, Johnny. Do they go toe for toe or do they play defense here?
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Is he going to punch himself out, though? He's got the advantage halfway through the round.
Perfect game plan. The thing is, can anybody figure out what to do to change this? It's a perfect start.
One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Don't get trigger happy, because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
Perfect punch. Nice punch. The straight right just misses. Beautiful counter punch. Left uppercut doesn't score. Final 10 seconds here, unless something major happens. I think we all know who won that one. Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. Beaten, bruised, and battered, but... Round 8, and we're off again. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
2 knockdowns, and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible, because your head must be all over the place. Your legs are feeling like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
We hear that old phrase, second win. You've got to find it somehow.
Now you've got 2 fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
They're giving us a high-tempo show. stamina is off the charts. The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Well, Johnny, you know there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive. How does he exploit that?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
Both fighters landing in these exchanges, Judge is going to have a tough job.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Who's willing to go where the other fighter won't? His stamina is off the charts. Rocky Marciano, few have been better. One of the greatest of all time.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. You've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more, but it might come down to who's in better shape.
Come on, you're laying back in front.
There's the bell to start round 9. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
You'd like to see more jabs. That counter shot lands. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Couldn't land that jab. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. It just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
Trying to land that jab. A lot of effort being exerted here. That hook just can't find the target. Nice counter shot. Well done with that counter shot. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
It's when you talk about championship material.
Come on, you've let him back into this.
And here comes the 10th round. That 1 minute break surely wasn't enough for him to completely recover.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
Missing with the hook. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can... Oh, do you believe this? Rocky Marciano is down! Oh my goodness, I want to see that one more time.
I need to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you okay?
The referee deems they can continue, but this might be a big mistake.
Todd, he's up. I'll be surprised if he makes it back to the corner. And if he does, will he get back up from the stool again? That was a shot.
Halfway through the round, and I think he knows he's got a lot of work to do.
Is that ever hope? Remember the fight at Evander Holyfield? He could be behind on points until the last 10 seconds, but he's fighting like he's going to pull it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
Those counter punches have to hurt. This fight has a real good flow to it. They both want a highlight reel knockout. Just missed with that jab. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You are right.
Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. Well, if this trainer has a pep talk, now's the time to use it, as they were dropped twice in the last round.
Let's go out there.
Here we go in the championship rounds, round 11. It's been a nightmare so far. What can they do to turn this around?
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'd be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
There's a counter shot. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations, and they throw them non-stop.
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Both men step back for just a moment. His stamina is off the charts. You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Tried to score with that hook, but missed. That big hook doesn't land. He threw a punch and just got countered. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Failing to score with that right hook. Just misses with that uppercut. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. We'll see how much endurance.
Switched off completely. Get your mind back.
There's the bell for round 12. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
What are they doing that now? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
Let me explain to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork.
I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So time to go celebrate after a knockout win here.
Accuracy, power.